may I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. Good morning and welcome. I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we join together in singing our gathering song, which can be seen on our screens up here. May I be empty. Let's join together in singing. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. May I be empty and open to receive the dark. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the dark. May I be full and open to receive. May I be empty and open to receive the love. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the love. May I be full and open to receive. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. Thank you. Please be seated.
are gathered for worship.
Each of Us is an Artist by Reverend Arthur Graham. Each of us is an artist whose task it is to shape life into some semblance of the pattern we dream about. The molding is not of self alone, but of shared tomorrow and times we shall never see. So let us be about our task. The materials are very precious and perishable. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Your presence on this very chilly November morning is a gift, whether you're here in person, joining us on the live stream, or watching in demand at a later time. My name is Stella Anderson, and I'm honored to serve this congregation as the Director of Spiritual Growth and Development. I'm joined on the chancel this morning by the Reverend Theresa Rohlck, our Minister of Pastoral Care, Carter Smith, our Acting Director of Music Ministries, Allison Hallers, our Pianist-in-Residence, and Mike Hallers, our Technology Consultant. With us also are guest musicians Josh Corcoran, Rachel Kaufman, Edward Norton, and Karl Sikkenga, Jean Gaunt, and members of the Chalice Singers. And you will also hear from Ed Lynn for the LiftUP campaign. Our beloved community, oh, and Liara's here too. Our beloved community has been working together to create a better world for over 150 years. Thank you for choosing to spend your Sundays with us, whether you're here in person or you're from the cozy warmth of a comfy couch somewhere. If you are watching from home, we'd love for you to take a moment to pop into the chat to say hello. For those of you that are here for the first time today, we are so grateful for your presence. I hope you will attend our newcomer welcome, held after every service in the Jackson Chapel, which is just out these double doors on the right-hand side past the social hall. Please also take a few moments to fill out our newcomer survey, which is available on our website at uuaa.org/newcomersurvey. If you have any questions, I encourage you to seek out Hannah Hotchkiss, our Welcome Ministries coordinator. She can be reached by email at hannah@uuaa.org. To all of you, may your experience this morning fill you with joy, energy, and purpose. Before we dive in, a couple of announcements. The UUAA Restorative Justice Group is offering a forum today from 1 to 3 p.m. in the Foz Chapel called What is Restorative Justice? Why do we need it? How might it speak to you? The forum will be in 2 parts, a presentation on how restorative justice works toward a more healing, balanced justice system through raising community awareness of restorative justice practices, peacemaking circles, and diversion programs in our community and courts. The second part will be a role play demonstrating a restorative justice conference between 2 young people previously involved in a physical confrontation. Our restorative justice group is doing such important work, and I urge you to lend your support. Next up, I am delighted to invite Zach Hildebrandt and Ruth Norton to the podium for a delicious Why Are You announcement.
Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Ruth.
It's that time of year again, and YOUU is selling apple dumplings. Dumplings will be available starting today and will be sold weekly until they're gone.
This year they will only be sold frozen. They are vegan, made from local apples, and perfect to be baked and enjoyed at home, perhaps during your holiday meal and with vanilla ice cream. One order of 2 frozen dumplings will be $5.
Money will go to purchase holiday wish list items for kids from the Peace Neighborhood Center.
You can order in person at the YOUU table in the social hall after the service and make a donation or purchase through Realm.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Zach and Ruth. My kids have been really into Mad Libs lately. Does everyone here know about Mad Libs? They've been around for a really long time, actually. Can any of you kids describe briefly what they are? Daisy? These sentences. So there's blank words that have parentheses that say things like what underneath? A noun, a verb, a noun, adjective. Exactly. And so one person reads the word that they're looking for, and then somebody else says a kind of word to fill in that blank, right? What's the best thing about it? It's really funny, exactly. All right, I think we got it. All right, so to sum up, they're short stories with missing nouns, verbs, adjectives, and so on, and you get to fill them in and create something off the wall and unexpected and funny. I'm sure you can imagine the types of words that kids like to suggest. It does make for some moments of comedy gold. Thank you very much for that. Oh, I guess my kids rose to the occasion today. The thing about Mad Libs is that they only actually work if you have more than one person. And the more people, the better. It's a chance to be creative, to collaborate with others, to say yes and. As we move deeper into our service this morning, I invite you to consider all the ways that we create together. Let us celebrate the spirit of collaboration as we build a collage of music, art, and love.
So each week we gather, we begin our time together by lighting a chalice, a symbol of this faith tradition. Sometimes we have a row of 6 or 8 or 10 or maybe 20 children, all jostling to be the one to bring the flame alive. And sometimes it's one person who represents us all. No matter who lights it, we all say these chalice lighting words, the ones you will see on the screen. And if you are watching in the live stream, will you also light a chalice or a candle if you have one nearby? And Stella will help me today as we all say our words together. We light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. We light this chalice for the energy of action. We light this chalice for the harmony of peace. Now here is your first Mad Lib opportunity. Could everyone say, or if you're at home, type in the chat if you're live streaming, the chalice is lit in blank, and the blank is the name of a place. You can name any place that you think there might be a chalice lit, and we're going to do this all together. Okay, ready? Here we go. The chalice is lit in the zoo. What was yours? The church, absolutely right. And another thing we do here at the church is we speak together the words of our covenant, the promise we make to each other about how we want to be in relationship with each other. We hold many different beliefs theologically, but as Unitarian Universalists, we are not required to profess one common belief. We are instead bound to the covenants we make with each other. And when, not if, but when we fall short, we are bound to begin again in love. And if you are new to us, you are more than welcome to say these words with us. Please join me in saying, the spirit of this church is love, and service is its law. This is our covenant with each other, to dwell together in peace, to search for truth in love, and to help one another.
hides her face in the grass. Big dog is coming so quick, face in the grass. Big dog is coming, so she starts a round of hide and seek. He'll win and slobber all over her cheek. There is no ice cream today. The sky is falling, no ice cream truck today. The sky is falling till they turn the sprinklers on. See, now she'll slide clear across the lawn. Here she comes, there she goes, through the garden, walk on tiptoes. There she's here, goes and comes through roses and chrysanthemums. She likes to wear blue beret. She sings ta-ra-ra-boom-dee-ay. It's the 7th of May. She has a frog on her head. She is contented, there's a frog on her head. She is contented, frog is cool, the day is hot. He is relaxed, she's named him Scott. There she goes, here she comes, banging on her kitchen drums. There she's here, comes and goes, chasing big dog with the hose. He runs by, she cries, ole. Big dog is faultlessly blasé. It's the 7th of May. She's had enough for the day. She's not complaining, but that's it for today. She's wise and sleepy, she'll be 3.5 on Saturday. Big girls teach big dogs how to play. She likes to make that big dog bay. She's never seen a shade of gray. And it's the 7th of May. 7th of May. Ta-ra-ra-boom-dee. 7th of May.
Our story for all ages this morning celebrates the magic and power of collaboration to make real and lasting change. Based on a true story of San Diego's East Village neighborhood, Maybe Something Beautiful, How Art Transformed a Neighborhood, written by F. Isabel Campoy and Theresa Howell, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. In the heart of a gray city, there lived a girl who loved to doodle, draw, color, and paint. Every time she saw a blank piece of paper, Mira thought to herself, maybe. And because of this, her room was filled with color, and her heart was filled with joy. On her way to school one day, Mira gave a round apple to Mr. Henry, the owner of the shop down the street. She gave a flower to Ms. Lopez, the lady with the sparkling eyes. She gave a songbird to Mr. Sachs and a red heart to the policeman who walked up and down the streets. On her way home, Mira taped a glowing sun onto the wall, hiding in the shadows. Her city was less gray, but not much. The next day, Mira saw a man with a pocket full of paintbrushes. He gazed at the wall. he looked at her son. He held his fingers up in a square and peered through them. He said thoughtfully. What do you see? Mira asked. Maybe something beautiful, the man replied. Then, just like that, he dipped a brush in the paint. Bam! Pow! The shadows scurried away. Sky blue cut through the gloom. The man's laughter was like a rainbow spreading across the sky. Who are you? Mira asked. I'm an artist, he said. A muralist. I paint on walls. I'm an artist too, she told him. He handed Mira a brush. Then come on. Mira dipped it in the loudest color she saw. Yah-wee! The wall lit up like sunshine. As the man drew pictures on the bricks, Mira added color, punch, and pizzazz. Soon, Mr. Sachs joined in. Then came others. Everyone painted to the rhythm, salsa, merengue, bebop. Even Mira's mama painted and danced the cha-cha-cha. The whole neighborhood became a giant block party. Until the policeman walked up. Excuse me, he said. The music stopped. Mira put her brush down. They were surely in trouble. The officer cleared his throat, then paused. May I paint with you? He asked. So Mira handed him a paintbrush and the music started again. Teachers and papas jumped in, babies too. Mira and the man handed out brush after brush. Color spread throughout the streets. So did joy. Wherever Mira and the man went, art followed like the string of a kite. After they colored the walls, they painted utility boxes and benches. They decorated sidewalks with poetry and shine, and everyone danced. Together, they created something more beautiful than they had ever imagined. When their clothes were splattered with a million colors, everyone sat down to rest, except the muralist. His eyes sparkled. You, my friends, are all artists, he told them. The world is your canvas. He smiled wide, then pulled everything together in big, sweeping motions. His paintbrush was like a magic wand. When he was finished, Mira added one more bird, way up in the sky. Maybe, she thought, just maybe. The end. I wanted to share with you a picture of the actual murals and muralists that the book brings to life. Through this project in San Diego's East Village, the Urban Art Trail was born, and volunteers of all ages, races, and walks of life committed themselves to a common goal, reviving their community through art. Little by little, the entire neighborhood became a work of art and an inspiration to those who lived there, and the project has spread to communities all over the world. Maybe something beautiful, illustrated by the muralist who inspired it, is an invitation to transform not only the walls and streets of our cities, but also the minds and hearts of communities.
I don't know about you, but the start of this month has been hectic. I have been traveling a lot to care for my mother, who lives out of town, and it's been a lot of back and forth. So the events during the week that usually anchor my days are just all messed up. I have frequently been unsure of what day it is or where I actually am, except for Sunday morning. Sunday mornings are anchors for me. Sunday morning is when I am in this place with a bunch of people who I know value what I value, and with a bunch of people whom I am fairly certain are relieved and energized by the election results, especially in Michigan. Yeah. It's a big thank you to the UU Civs for your leadership and to all of you who put so much time and energy into getting out the vote. And thank you to all of you who voted. Voting is a perfect example of how our individual actions, when combined, can bring about transformation. And yet, we know there is still a lot of work to do. It's powerful what we can do when we come together as a community. We are many, and we share common values. And yet, we are each unique, having different ages and backgrounds and perspectives, different talents and ideas. And we are celebrating that today in this worship service. If you have looked at the order of service already, you'll have noticed that the title for our worship today is, well, it's untitled. I've asked you to imagine a title. Now, maybe it's too soon for you to come up with one, so I want you to think about it, and I'm going to ask you about it again later. If you're here in the sanctuary, in a moment, I'm going to invite you to participate in a collective art project, a collage, actually several of them. It's our version of the story we just heard. Now, I think it would be really fun to paint murals on all of these walls. But we would need many committees, and it would take years. It would take years to decide if we wanted to do that. So instead, today, right now, you get to make maybe something beautiful. And there will be 3 chances to do this. I'm going to invite just a section of the congregation to come up to the tables where you'll find all sorts of things. There's pipe cleaners and feathers and ribbons and little hearts and all sorts of fun things. Pick something and add it to the cork board. The idea of collage is that the pieces will overlap and combine, so you can come up to any one of the tables, just add one thing, and then return to your seat. Now, kids, any kids who are here, wherever you are, when you come up, could you be sure to bring a caregiver or an adult or a teacher with you so that they can help you reach the pins? And kids, this is also really, really important. You need to be able to help your adult or caregiver if they can't decide what to do at the board, okay? So while this art making is happening, we'll have different artists all contributing to our communal collage. Today is a day we are celebrating how we make something beautiful together, a day to remember how much fun it can be to create in community, and how our individual contributions make a difference, how our individual visions can combine into something bigger, maybe something beautiful. Now remember I asked you to imagine that title? For those on live stream, I really need your help for this part. Would you be able to type into the chat what you imagine the title of the service is, while the folks in the sanctuary are creating the collage? And if you've never tried the chat, don't worry, maybe this is your day to try it out. And you can change your mind and you can add new titles as the service progresses. So let's start. Let's start with this section and just a few from the edge of this section to come up and start to add to our collage. Thank you all for being the first to contribute in this service. When you came up here, you saw that there was already some stuff on the boards, and that was from your friends in the first service. I cannot think of a better example of how collectively we can make something beautiful for the future of all these children, the future of this life-sustaining community, than the way we pledge to commit our financial resources to this congregation. And I cannot think of a better person to give you a brief wrap-up of the current LiftUP campaign. Please welcome someone who embodies the idea of giving, who has himself given so much to this congregation, Mr. Ed Lynn.
Thank you again. Good morning. 6 weeks ago, we launched our annual stewardship campaign, and at that time, Reverend Manish invited each of us to reflect upon and discuss, if you were in the sanctuary here, the impact, the effect this congregation has had on our lives, and therefore why we support UUAA. I think each of these personal impacts or effects, no matter how different, can be described as a gift from this congregation. Taken together, this community, this gift, has enriched each of our lives, and so we continue to support it. And since many of us were not raised UUs, we either found this gift or this gift found us. Consider how special this gift is. Reverend Manish often begins the service by reminding us that we have been a center for a progressive liberal religion in this area for 157 years. 157 years. That is over 5 generations. That is thousands of people offering their time, their talent, and their treasure over all these years so that this gift would be here, available for each of us to discover. That is remarkable. And with our Vision 2050, looking forward 30 more years, another generation, we have defined the gift we wish to leave to this coming generation. But we are leaving other gifts to this generation as well. One such gift I described in August when Sandy Simon and I provided an update of our climate work. I shared this simple graph showing the relationship of a person's age with the global fossil fuel emissions generated during that person's life. In short, how much of the climate crisis has been caused during our lifetime. For example, I recently turned 74. So of the global total CO2 emissions over 270 years, 87% has been generated during my lifetime. 87%. And if you are only 30, it is over half of that total has been generated during your lifetime. It's accelerating. This is also our gift to the next generation. And dealing with this legacy is likely to be infinitely more difficult than anything we have faced, which is why it is so important for us to leave the gift of this community to the coming generation. There is no doubt in my mind that they will need what we have built for them. So, as we close the public part of the stewardship drive to continue building this gift for a strong community, we still have not heard from over 40% of you who pledged last year. Next year will be a difficult budget. We have increased costs, a new full-time administrator, going out for a search for a music director. We have asked everyone who can increase their pledge by $365, $1 per day, per person to do so. If you can also lift up some members who can't make this financial contribution, please do so. And please make your pledge today. Or if Sunday is your Sabbath, make it tomorrow. We need this community, and the next generation will need it even more. Please help make sure that it is here for them. Thank you.
Already this morning, we have heard a variety of musical styles and genres from members of the UUAA community, and there is more to come. In just a moment, we will hear another original composition from a longtime UUAA and Chalice singer member, Jeanine Gaunt. The words for the piece may be familiar as they come from the former First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, and are musically set in a style which draws on Jean's many years in musical theater. All of these pieces add to the collage we are creating together. Whether original compositions or arrangements, performers take the ideas of composers and put their art into the world. And we are all present to and experience that art together. Another very important way that we reaffirm our trust and commitment to be present to one another and this community is through the spiritual practice of our offering. Bearing witness to the overwhelming generosity of the people sitting in this room and watching from home, week after week, fills my spirit with hope and joy. There are many ways to give. As our ushers pass the baskets, we invite you to drop in cash or checks. If you'd prefer a digital option, you can text UUAA to 73256, or you can go to uuaa.org/giving. However you give, thank you for your generosity and for your commitment to building a brighter future. Today's offering will now be given and gratefully received. Will the ushers please come forward? As they do, I invite you to rise in body or spirit, wherever you may be, and say with me the words of dedication. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Thank you.
So we've made a start to our collage, and the image is going to keep changing. We don't know what the end will look like. I think this kind of collaborative, creative process requires a great deal of trust. Trust in each other and trust in the process. Can we really believe the outcome will be beautiful, even if it's not what we first imagined, or even if it's not the exact picture you hoped to create? Can we see beauty and value in whatever the outcome is, whether it's a musical composition, a piece of art, a new curriculum, or a new policy. In art, collage is really just a combination of diverse materials, often overlapping and attached to a single surface. There are no rules for what goes next to each other, but in the end, we hope there's a sense of harmony and of good compositional design. So much of what we do in life is this, piecing together diverse elements, trying to make something harmonious of it all. Times of change or transitions can be frustrating or discouraging or feel hopeless, or they can be the impetus of creative energy. As best-selling author, speaker, and PBS TV host Bruce Feiler writes, "A transition is a vital period of adjustment, creativity, and rebirth that helps one find meaning after a major life disruption." We are in times of great change and disruption. Just look at what has happened with COVID-19, the climate crisis, a precarious political landscape, national and international events that are major life disruptions. But I suspect we each have events happening on a smaller scale in our own lives, perhaps unnoticed by others, but just as disruptive. What I've been helping my mother with is moving from one place to a smaller place that offers her more assistance as she ages. Her options included to struggle against it, or dismiss it, or embrace the creativity it demanded of us. And we chose the latter. It is still requiring a whole lot of trust in the process. The final picture hasn't been completed, but we know we'll get there. Now, isn't this true of us as a congregation also? We are confronted by change and uncertainty. You heard about where we are with the LiftUP campaign from Ed earlier. We are making individual financial contributions, trusting that the larger collage of who we are and what we can accomplish is still taking shape. The challenge comes in accepting what that picture will look like when the campaign is over. We might not be able to make as full a collage as we envisioned. We might not have enough pins to do so. But whatever the outcome, we will have to find beauty where we can and make the most of what Feiler calls this vital period of adjustment, creativity, and rebirth. Now, are you still thinking about that title? Imagine the title. Live streamers, how are the titles coming? Are you adding to them? I hope so. If now this section, whoever didn't already go from this center section, please come on up and add to our collage boards and we'll have more music. Feel free to take your time as you're finishing up the collage while we have some more music.
Sun shines bright on the ocean blue, dazzling in your eyes. Think somehow it's blinded you. See truth in their lies. Here the world is new and bold. Think they'll love you when you've gone and grown old. Found some friends who see the real you, love you for your mind. Of course, those offers will come through. That's the latest line. Freeways here are paved with gold. You will own them if you do as you're told. The sun has drowned in the ocean blue. I've gone beyond the rise. You're left wondering what to do. There's nothing in your eyes. Here your life is bought and sold. I will love you when you've gone and grown old. Here your life is bought and sold, but I will love you when you've gone and grown old.
This worship that you are experiencing today embodies the idea of collage. I came into this service with some uncertainty, yet with an unwavering belief and faith in the creative process, and in the team that put this together, and in the musicians who showed up to play and sing for you. Could we just acknowledge all of the musicians? And I want to point out Jeanine Gaunt, who has composed the offertory pieces right here. Jean, if you want to wave. Thank you. I also came in with faith in you, that you would bravely believe in the process too, and you would participate. And your contributions are amazing. And it's exciting because it is nothing I could have predicted. I didn't know, and I still don't know, what the final image is going to look like. But I do know that once again, this Sunday morning experience has anchored me. It's anchored my week and my sense of belonging. I came into this today open to being changed by the experience, and I have been changed. How about you? Have you been open to change? Have you been changed? Our story showed us how art transformed the hearts and minds of a community. Maybe in a small way, you're participating in creating art, in creating this time of worship has been transformative for you. It might be too soon to tell, so let it sit with you, and in the coming weeks, see if anything has changed for you. So now the final group, this side, and anyone in the choir may come up. And if you feel really strongly you want to add one more thing, when they're done, feel free to come on up. But let's have this side come on up first while we have some more music.
invite you to rise in body or spirit as we join together in singing number 1020, Woyaya. And please take your time and finish up as we join together in singing number 1020. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within that we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will.
If you would take a seat for a moment. Heaven knows where we are going or how we will get there, but we know within, and we know we will. This song is about a collective journey where we are going, and the faith we have in it, we will get there. Maybe the experience of worship as Collage, of your life as Collage, has changed you, even a bit, and offered another perspective of how we navigate the journey together, when it's muddy and rough, even when it's smooth and joyful and just plain fun. Let's see where the road has taken us so far. I wonder if Stella and Carter and maybe Liara, you can help us hold up some of these collages so you can see your collective creativity, works of art that have never existed before, that are unique. They are powerful reminders. They're powerful reminders that collaboratively we make something beautiful. If you would, once again, please rise in body or spirit. And now I'm going to ask you to imagine the benediction. What are the good words you would say to each other to send each other off? And if you're unsure how to start, here's your final Mad Lib opportunity. You may fill in the phrase, know that you are blank. May the week ahead be joyful. Go now in. Online folks, if you might type your benediction, and all the rest of you, if you would now actually give your benediction to someone nearby you. Just turn and tell them your benediction. Dear ones, know that you are a beloved member of this community. May the week ahead be bursting with creative energy, and go now in peace, in love, and in joy. Amen.